So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our Planets Through Ascendant series. And this week we're going to be covering Saturn in the Nakshatra of Purva Bhadrapada. And what happens when Saturn is in the sign of Aquarius from 20 degrees all the way to 3 degrees and 20 minutes of Pisces sign. This particular section of the sky is known as Purva Bhadrapada because that's the name of the constellation. And the symbolism of this constellation is the sword. And the deity of this is Eka something, Eka Pati. He's like Rudra. He's like the personification of Shiva. Okay. So we're going to study as to what Saturn does in this particular nakshatra. And this is a very Artha nakshatra. This is about work, putting in the effort to do something auspicious. Okay. So as always, if you do not know if you have Saturn in this nakshatra, where your other planetary placements are, for that check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report, including my books, Astrology, Conjunction, Aspects, and Mahadashas at the Speed of Light, including all my consultations at this link here. So let's get started with our Saturn in this nakshatra. So it was Aja Ekapanda, I believe the Diti, yes. So when Saturn comes into this nakshatra, see, this nakshatra represents the blessings of your past life deeds, because it represents the first auspicious step, meaning because of your karma, you're now going to receive something auspicious. That is Purva first. Later on will be Uttra later. Okay, so the first auspicious step, especially if you look at the time when these nakshatras were written, we're not talking about wealth as in currency and money or money in the bank. We're talking about wealth of knowledge, culture, family, love, agriculture. Because if you know, this nakshatra is not only symbolized by the sword but also symbolized by the one-legged goat. So goat is all about nourishment, giving something to us which just replenishes us, gives us nutrition. So Purva Bhadra's job is to, no matter how harsh the situation is, you could be on one leg, you could have one foot, but you are still going to provide nourishment to other people. That is what you're born to do. And obviously, if you convert that Purva Bhadrapada in this particular era, it can represent quite a bit of things. Naturally, it represents blessing and wealth of money, family, okay, wealth of lineage, children. But also this represents wealth of mystical knowledge, wealth of high philosophical knowledge, deep knowledge. This is why, and this is a nakshatra ruled by Jupiter, so it represents scholars, mystics, deep thinkers. Now what you're doing is you're putting a planet which is very practical, Saturn here, planet of karma, reality, duty, commitment, sacrifices, discipline, structure. So especially when Saturn is here in the Aquarius part of this nakshatra, which is literally the first 3 padhas of this nakshatra, this person will sacrifice their life of studying of science, studying of, history. They're the people who will try to do practical things with their knowledge. Whether they become professors, researchers, or they go into fields of even military command. Because remember, this is represented by the sword. Sword is always used where? When you're either battling or when you're punishing. So especially here Saturn, which represents this, just a very practical, harsh, sturdy person. When they have the sword, they're going to use it to either discipline or to win a war. So this person is, first of all, very cutthroat in their way of dealing with situations in the world. For them, whatever the sword is for them, they will use that to just cut things right up if they don't like it. They don't care what you think, if it's right or wrong. If for them, if it's not right or wrong, or if it's not right, they will cut that. They make like activists, social activists, political activists. They feel like they have to always use the sword on society. Now you move that Saturn, and because especially remember, it's Rudra, Shiva, and it's also the animal is tiger too, of Durga. Both are very, very like, harsh and cutthroat type of deities and animals. But especially when it comes to the Pisces side, here the dissolving of material karma happens, and this Saturn will take a person into a spiritual life. It can take a person into a spiritual life with the first 3 padas, but it is going to find the fact that they will always feel like I have to do something for society first. Before I, take my sannyas or whatever, I need to do something for society, whether it's me fighting for some legal cause, from political cause, scientific discovery, whatever. But when it comes to Pisces, they're like, no, I've been born to just go straight into spiritual life. Their discipline and sacrifices are made on behalf of wanting to understand that, final place, that final enlightenment that we all seek for. So Pisces people, I've seen that too. Practically, I've seen that too, where Saturn in Pisces, a person becomes, a great teacher, guru. They want to live a spiritual life. You'll, find all kinds of people in the mystic world with that 4th pada, so which lands in the sign of Pisces, and their actions, especially in the Aquarius sign, are very much about the rightful thing. So knowing that the Saturn is holding a sword, it will not cut innocent people. It will cut people who have done wrong. And in reality, sword, can just be pointing a finger. Like, you did that wrong. You're gonna be punished. So you will find very, very, like if you have professors and teachers with this, you will notice. And you should try that. See if one of your professors in college or school has this Saturn in this nakshatra. See the type of subject they're teaching, especially the 10th from Saturn. Also, if they're in Pisces, see what their life is like. You will clearly see how these 2 signs, zodiac signs, will differentiate those pathas. Okay? But the auspicious step that Purva Bhadrapada provides is really for these people to take the blessings of their past life and push it forward by doing some karmas for other people. They must perform some karma, because if Jupiter was here, Venus was here, it would be different. Saturn has to perform some action or karma in this life for the world. Okay? So guys, this is my analysis of Saturn is in Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra. If you don't know my channel, subscribe below. And if you want to know where your Saturn is placed, all my books, reports, consultations, for that, check out the links here. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.